Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are doing the Outlast Trials tier list, and just Outlast in general. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be ranking like all the programs in this tier list. Every single thing from like even up to the 1.0 update. See, we have Ultra and we have like, you know, Toy Factory. And I'm also going to be doing all the enemies, but this includes Outlast 1, 2, and, you know, like Whistleblower and stuff, because when I made this tier list I wasn't planning on just having it Outlast Trials, so I like included everything into it. And I also have like the games tier list, even though there's only I'm including Whistleblower because there's only like 3 games, so I don't know even why I did it. I made these tier lists like maybe like a year ago. Obviously I've been updating them when things come out, but like started them in like I think it was like beginning of last year maybe. But here we go. Let's just get started. So like I said, we're just going to go through all these. We're going to go in any order that I want, really. I'm going to talk about them and I'm going to rank them. So yes, let's get started. I think I want to start with, let's go Fun Park. Okay, I'm going to put it in the stand I'm talking. And yeah, so let's start off with Fun Park. When I say Fun Park, I'm not just talking about the trial, I'm also talking about the MK challenges with it. So like, it could have a really good trial, but then really bad MK challenges, and, you know, that'll put it lower, you know what I mean? Even though these aren't programs anymore, you know, they're just maps, I guess, because obviously Genesis is the only thing anymore for, like, the original programs. But I'm still including it because, I mean, like, what would I say Genesis really is? You know, it's kind of just including all the old ones. So, if I'm just talking about the maps, I'm going to say they're programs. So, if I say Toy Factory is a program, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just going to say it the wrong way. Okay, Fun Park is really hard to rank for me, because like when like it was just the first 3 programs, you know, Orphanage, Police Station, Fun Park, I thought it was the best, but like I said, I was kind of basing it just off the trial. Because here's the thing, I like the trial quite a lot, like I like going through it, but here's the thing, I'm really not a big fan of the outside area, you know, like the entire outside area, like the entire thing. And the MK challenges, at least the first 2, are literally like entirely outside except for the barn, which I like. So like the first like part of this entire level is in the outside part, so it's already off to a not great start. I like doing the mini games, they're cool. I don't know what I don't like about the outside part. It just feels very mazy. Like I've just started to get used to the map, and the enemies just seem annoying. I don't know. I've never been a fan of it. Like I said, doing the mini games is really cool and really unique. They have to put it into like the ticket booth thing. Usually there's like 2 grunts out there on harder difficulties. I don't know how to fully feel about it. Like if like the entire trial was outside, it would probably be like my least favorite or second least favorite. And then once you get into the root canal, it's all uphill from there. I like pushing the boat. In that first area, it could be a little bit annoying, but I like it. It's interesting. Because that is like it's out in the open. There's like the water and stuff, and you're a little bit slow. And I think that's like the only level that there's like water that like slows you down, because like there hasn't been like any other level that has like a deepish like water pit. I don't know what you'd really say, but I don't recall any other level having like a part where you're walking through water and it slows you down, like maybe like puddles or something. But yeah, I like that part. And then you have to like deactivate the toothbrushes, which is interesting. It doesn't reuse any mechanics. It has like the new like wire mechanic. And then once you push the boat all the way up, which I like how it goes up like this flaming thing. I think it's a better pushing thing than Kill a Snitch. Because yeah, Kill a Snitch has a gate, but the toothbrushes are literally the gates. So there's not really a big difference there. But in terms of just pushing it, I like how it can go up this thing, and then it goes down after you do the pipe thing, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, once you get up there, you have to get another toothbrush deactivated if you're playing 4-player. I'm pretty sure if you're playing 2 or 1 players, you just have to do 1 down there, 1 up there. But and like 3 to 4 players, I'm pretty sure you have to do 2 on the down area and 1 in the up area. But either way, you push it, and then the water gets deactivated, and then you have to do the pipe thing. The pipe thing's alright. It's probably the worst objective in the entire program. It's alright. I just think it can get a little bit annoying, especially since for some reason a lot of the spawns are common. Like this one spot, I think it's the blue pipe, maybe the pipe that goes into like the end area where you have to like grind the thing. That area, it feels like it always spawns to like the left side of the stairs when you go down. You know, like in like the area to the left of the grinder. It feels like it always spawns there. And I don't know why. But yeah, that part's alright, and then you can push the thing into the grinder. I just like the whole entire root canal area. It's mainly because of Night Hunter, because that's the first time I saw him. And I looked at the leaks a lot, and I was excited for him. I didn't think it was be in the update, then I saw him. So, you know, that definitely gave me good first impressions. So yeah, I think new enemies definitely gives better first impressions, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, I really like that than the MK challenges. I'm not the biggest fan of Open the Gates at all. I used to like it like a decent amount, but now it kind of gets tedious and annoying, I'm not gonna lie. And then, I like the barn area. I think the barn area is the best part of the first 2 MK challenges, but like that's only like a quarter of the map. The rest of the 3/4 of the map is the outside areas. And it's just Punish the Miscreants, also not a big fan of it's worse than that one. I hate having to carry those dolls all around, especially single player and stuff. And I hate following the wires to, like, you know, get the dolls unattached. I'm not a big fan of that one at all, and it can get annoying because it seems like that one, it's very mazy as well, trying to get like to the other side of the map. So you literally have to get to the other side of the map and go all the way back 4 different times. Obviously, like the barn area, like you just have to bring up like barely any far. But I'm just saying, it's just not my favorite. And then there's Drill the Futterman, which is the newest one that came out in the Courthouse update. It's decent. I think it's probably the best out of those. It's still not my favorite. Probably middle of like the MK challenges or towards the bottom. It's not my favorite. I think a lot of people like it. Not me. It's alright. I tried to speedrun it, and I suck. But that's not the reason, okay? Playing it normally, I'm still not a big fan. So yeah, MK challenges really hold it down. But the trial is up. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it in S tier, okay? A lot of people do not like Fun Park, I'm pretty sure. But it's the most unique aesthetic, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's just super cool. Like, the entire root canal area is just amazing. And I love, like, the Mother Gooseberry song in the root canal as well. That's really funny. So I'm gonna put it in S tier. I'm gonna sort these all out after. But yeah, I think definitely S tier. I kind of already knew I was going to put it there. Because A tier, like, it used to be my favorite and stuff. And even though 2 of the MK challenges are like one of the bottoms, and then one of the MK challenges is towards the middle, but the trial is also towards like the top, I think. I think it might be my second favorite trial. I think first might be something I can't say. I don't want to spoil it. But I think it's my second favorite. Okay, let's just move on. What should we do next? Let's just start off with a weekly, I guess. Let's just do Be Quiet. Be Quiet is pretty interesting. I like Be Quiet. It's the first weekly, I'm pretty sure, that ever came out. I liked it at first. I think it was one of the more unique weeklies, because using the voice chat's just funny, trying to talk to him and stuff. Obviously, like, you don't really, you know, there's not like voice commands or anything, but it's just still funny. And the other rider, like the hypersensitivity, which I'm pretty sure is new with Be Quiet, is alright. You know, I think it's more game changing than the voice chat, but I mean, I still like the voice chat. It's funny. But yeah, I think this one's just more playful than the other ones, which I prefer. I prefer the more weird, unique, and like playful ones, rather than the ones that are just like no syringes. You know, I'm just gonna say it, like no syringes and no meds. It's like, you know, it's not very like, you know what I mean? So I just think Be Quiet, it's like funny and like just interesting at least. I'm gonna put Be Quiet in A. But here's the thing, when I'm ranking these, whenever I'm ranking like the programs themselves, like, you know, well, not, you know, like I'm saying like Fun Park, Police Station, when I'm ranking like those, I'm mainly ranking like the map itself. When I'm ranking like the weeklies, I'm ranking like the riders. Same with like Program X, I'm like ranking the riders and the difficulty. Like that, I'm not including like the stuff that's necessarily like in it, because it's just like the maps, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to put it A tier, because I think it's, I honestly really like it. I don't think it's S tier, because like I said, it's not that game changing. It's the first one, I thought it was unique and interesting. I'm going to put it A. Okay, next up, let's do Nomads. Let's do it. no meds is honestly probably one of the bottom ones, honestly. Like, here's the thing. Like, sure, it can be interesting, I guess. Like, only if it was, like, in Program X or something. Not an entire thing based off of it. Because, like, heal rig exists. Yes, if it was in Program X and stuff, which, for Program X, doesn't even use any of the weekly riders, at least in the new Program X, which I don't know why. Okay, off topic, I just thought that was a little bit weird, because they have so many of these weeklies, and they could use varieties in Program X and, like, Ultra and stuff. But I guess they just don't do that. Like, say if you're using heal rig, it's really not that big of a difference, because I usually play with my brother, and he usually has heal rig. Obviously, you can just, you know, not use it, but the variety itself is just... for an entire weekly, because I'm basing off the weekly and the rider, and the rider doesn't work well for a weekly. Yeah, I'm putting an F. I'm doing it. I mean, just really not the greatest. Let's keep going with... let's do Geister. This one should be interesting. Geister is the first event that we ever got. We only have 2 currently, if you're not counting the weeklies. And it's pretty interesting. I don't know. Because here's the thing, like, one of them's like hallucinations, which is basically like not having psychosis but still seeing Skinner Man. I thought hallucinations were actually going to make it really interesting, like different hallucinations or stuff that actually like changes up the game. But no, it's kind of like if you had psychosis 1 without like the weird like throbbing head thing. I'm pretty sure that didn't have that. It's been a while. More imposters. At first, I barely saw a difference. As I played it, I was like, yeah, there's more imposters, but barely. And then there's no player names, and that's also okay. I'm pretty sure Ultra doesn't have that. Ultra has that either. I mean, has that too, but yeah, no player names. It's fine, and I'm pretty sure that's basically it for Geister. I'm pretty sure it's just those riders, if I'm not mistaken. No! Enraged enemies, I totally forgot. Yeah, enraged enemies. I don't know if it actually makes them different. All I kind of like realized before was they had red eyes. But I also know the game more than I did then. So I'd have to replay it to actually, you know, fully see if enraged enemies is actually, you know, different. Because in like the original trailer, their eyes glowed red and stuff. And it was in the closed beta as well, I'm pretty sure. Then they removed it, but then they put it in the variety for Geister. So yeah, Geister just has like 4 different riders, like things like the hallucinations, more imposters feel like barely changing up the game, and then things like no player names if you're playing with actual like other players. Like if you're playing single player, then yeah, good luck. You know, it's not gonna change anything. But yeah, it's all right. It's pretty decent. And then enraged enemies. I mean, I don't know if it's the biggest difference. Honestly, here's the thing. I don't think I should put an F, obviously. Okay? It's not down with no meds. D, it feels like I kind of should, just because there wasn't a lot. But it's the first event. I mean, there was a lot of riders, but there just wasn't, like, that interesting of riders. But it was the first event, and there was quite a bit of riders. I'm going to put it in C tier, just because it put 4 different riders. It's the first event, and there's the Geister tokens. But putting it B, it's like the riders, man. Okay, so I think C is good for it. I might change it up a bit after. Just gonna put it in the general position for now. You know, let's do program, you know, Omega, yeah. Yeah, I never actually beat Omega. So I did the first video on it because I was still in the middle of the series, of like the early access series, when Omega came out. So I finished the series, and then right after I played Omega. So I did like 13 parts of the Outlast Trials for the early access, and then I played Omega. And yeah, we did decent, but here's the thing, Omega is so long. Like, insanely long. So at first, it's pretty hard, because, you know, if you're not near your teammates, you're gonna take damage. Rider itself is interesting, I really like it. But yeah, I think we beat like 1 or 2, I forget exactly what we beat. It wasn't the hardest thing ever, but it was still definitely difficult. But here's the thing, I'm pretty sure it starts off like easy, but then like, well, not like easy, but like easier than like later in. Like towards like the end of the program, like the last 4 or 3, I forget, there's a deadly prime assets, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple other, yeah, no rigs too. Yeah, because we got so stuck there. So off camera, we were trying to do this, and we got to like the no rigs, deadly prime asset with all like the stay together and stuff. Because like I said, like they keep adding riders onto it as you get later in the program, and it's insane. Like seriously, we never finished it. I think that's the only program that we've never finished. Like seriously, we tried for like. Because they're supposed to like end like a couple weeks, so we really tried hard, and then it's like, oh, I guess it's not gonna end. And then throughout like literally like the months and months until courthouse, we couldn't beat it. It was crazy. It was very interesting. We got close so many times. We probably tried to do like those final 4 like around, I want to say like 20-30 times, and we could never beat it. We just gave up. Like, it was just way too hard for us, especially with our skill level at the time. Still not the greatest now, but I think we could manage now. But yeah, I like it, honestly. Okay, I don't know if it's harder than Ultra, but here's the thing: we weren't as good back then, and I haven't played it in a while. I'm assuming it's Ultra or more, because like here's the thing: I still think it's really difficult, even though we were bad back then. Well, I mean, worse than now, society. But I think it probably is. Okay, you know, I'm gonna put it in A tier, because I really like how it was such a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it could be a pain, but I just love how it was just like such a challenge to beat. So yeah, I think A tier is really good for it. I think I'm happy with A tier, because B tier, I could put it there, but is it really worse than Be Quiet is the real thing? I don't think so, because it's just interesting. I'm just gonna put it in A for now. Let's move on to Orphanage. I think we should do Orphanage. Orphanage. Okay. I was gonna say it right now. I think it's my least favorite of the main programs. I don't know. Like the trial itself, it's really just not my favorite. Like a lot of things about Orphanage, I'm not a big fan of. It's like a very mixed thing I have about it. At first, I really didn't like it. Well, I really struggled with it for some reason, and that's when when like the game first came out, we like the first like I think 3 or 4 videos. No, I think around 4 videos, we were struggling. I'm pretty sure 2 of them we didn't even beat anything, and I'm pretty sure like the other 2 we like beat like maybe 1 trial or 1 MK challenge. We were struggling horribly, and yeah, Orphanage, we struggled horribly, and my brother's game kept crashing, so really bad first impressions for us. And then now, like the map, it's the map aesthetically is pretty cool. Like the environments is really nice and stuff. I think it looks pretty decent. But then like the radios, sure, they're pretty interesting mechanic. Sometimes it can be annoying. Like sometimes they're like pretty cool and pretty fun to do. You know, just like quickly go in, just like speed run trying to get it done, and then oh, you get it done, cool. But every once in a while, I get these ones that are such a pain to do. Like I'm not necessarily like stuck on them for like so long, but like they're a pretty big pain for me. Like I'm just sitting there for like, let's say, like I usually get them done maybe like 20 seconds or less. I don't exactly know, but let's say it takes me a couple minutes. I don't know why that sometimes happens. I guess I just get unlucky with them. Oh yeah, and it took us like 10 minutes to do the first radio when we first played. I just remembered. And then the reels, I still to this day don't like the reel part in the classrooms. It's a pain. Like the entire area where you get the reels and stuff is just light, and no, it's like probably one of my least favorite like entire areas of all 5 of the maps. Like it's like I really don't like it. Like still to this day, like it's probably my least favorite part to go through. And then once you get to the chapel, you have to like chop off the guy's legs and all that. Yeah. And then getting the keys and the generators. It's reused objectives, which is fine. I'm not like freaking out about reused objectives. I kind of like that because if there's an objective that I like, obviously I'm gonna replay it. Getting the keys is alright. It's kind of easy sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying. Generator area in the basement's pretty decent, but that, I don't know. Orphanage is kind of just like the most basic, And if there was a forgettable level, I think it's forgettable. Like, I still like it. And then chop off the guy's legs could be cool. I think it's probably one of the most unique, like, kills you get to do in the game. Sounds sick, but yeah, every single level you kill somebody, except for grinding the bad apples, probably because it's kids. But yeah, chopping off the legs is pretty cool, but there's like no enemies nearby. Like, if you get unlucky, the grunt might follow you in there, but there's not an enemy constantly, you know, chasing you and guarding the area, which makes it just a whole lot worse, because like all the other ones, I'm pretty sure. Pervert the Fireman when you try to burn the guy. Yeah, I haven't played it a couple times, and I think it has kind of that problem as well, but not as bad as this, because like literally like no one's there. And once you cut off the legs, once you do all the objectives you have to do, which I like how you have to do multiple at a time, so like one player can get the keys and try to chop off the legs, and the other player can get the generator. Now, I like that. I like having to do multiple things at the same time, so it's not just all players doing the same objective, which is fine, I'm just saying. I like it. And then Gooseberry comes through. I like the final chase. It's pretty interesting. Like when Gooseberry comes through the door, which I just found out that there's another route that I can go around. Like when you come up from the basement, you can go around there. I still haven't done it because I'm forgetting to try it, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, so enough about the trial. So I'm mixed on the trial, and then Foster the Orphans. I don't really hate it, don't really like it. It's like probably one of the bottom ones, but I don't necessarily hate it. It's just very basic. I don't know, I forget about it. It's like the most forgettable MK challenge, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not saying it like it could be. I think it is. Like, I really, like, forget about it, man. Feed the Children's, like, one of my favorites, surprisingly. I really like Feed the Children. I had, like, 3rd place of, like, the records on it when early access, in, like, the early access phase. Now it doesn't count anymore, sadly. But, yeah, it was fun. I think this is what really makes Orphanage, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna say good because, you know, I still think it's pretty decent, but I'm just saying it definitely makes it better. And then Gather the Children, it's alright. I think it's better than Punish and Miscreants, which is basically the same objective from it, but I think it's better, but I don't know, not like by an insane amount. It's just alright. I think it's probably a little bit in the lower half. Not like, oh yes, middle or lower half like I've been saying about the other ones. I would say it's more like middle to a little bit lower half, because I don't think it's like the lower half. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, so that's like kind of like my thing with Orphanage. It's just a lot of mixed feelings, especially about the trial and just everything. I think I'm gonna put it B. I really think I am. Because, yeah, Feed the Children, it should hold it up, man. But, like, here's the thing. Feed the Children wasn't there. I definitely think it would be B. Because then there's nothing that I extremely like. Like, a lot of the, you know, programs and stuff, or maps, or whatever you want to call it, has, like, one, like, MK Challenge or Trial that's at least in the top, like, 5 of the category. Like, you know, like, top, I mean, the top, like, obviously if it's, like, the Trial, maybe, like, top 3, then it's, like, MK Challenge, like, maybe, like, also top 5 or something. Like, usually these programs have like one good one or like more, but Orphanage really just has Feed the Children, and everything else kind of drags it down a little bit. Yeah, I like the environment. It's pretty unique. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier for now. C tier, I think it's too harsh. In A tier, I think I'm gonna put some other things in A tier. I just don't think it's on the same level though. Like I say, I could change my opinion like part way through the video. Let's move on to, let's just do Sharp Glass. I know some people, like, really like Sharp Glass as a weekly, but I'm gonna start going fast through these weeklies because I don't want to talk too long about them. I think it's decent. It just came back for the full release, and I think it better than what I remembered. At first I was like only like a half a health or whatever, or I think now it's half a health, and I think before, I don't know what it actually is right now. I'm such an idiot. I don't know how to feel about it, because I do think it changes up the game quite a bit, because I'm kind of used to just walking through it because I don't really care about grades a lot of the time. Sometimes I do, because sometimes that's like my main goal is to get the good grades, but yeah, so sometimes it kind of screws me up. I'm like, oh crap, can't walk on that. But I don't know. But here's the thing. At first I was like, this isn't as good as like Be Quiet. But now that we've got all these other weeklies, I think it does hold up way more than the other ones, just because a lot of the other ones fall flat. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one A tier as well. Just A tier. No, I'm gonna put it B. I'm gonna put it B. I still don't know if I could put it A tier. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it B, just because, yeah, I think now that I see all the other weeklies that we've gotten, it is one of the better ones. I'm really mixing this. I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't know why. I think that's like the hardest weekly probably to rank. Let's just try to get more of the weeklies done. Let's go Second Chance. Second Chance, so basically no syringes, no revives. At least I think it's better than no meds, just because no meds, heal rig kind of ruins it if you have heal rig. But for second chances, it's not like necessarily a thing to come back to life, except for the new amp. But there's nothing else besides that. Like, you can't revive your teammates, because I think it's no revive pills for single player, and no syringes for teammates, like if you have teammates. So yeah, obviously the, amp helps with that, but that's kind of it. That's like the only thing that can really help. It's not as like drastically helpful as heal rig for no meds. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in F tier as well, just maybe not as bad as meds. No meds, but it's like putting it in D, like it's pretty much on the same level, I would say. Obviously I'm gonna sort them out after. Okay, let's move on to Bad Trip. Let's kind of get the weeklies out of the way, just so I can focus on the main things I want to talk about. Bad Trip's honestly surprisingly one of the better ones for me. I think I played this one in the hotel that I was at. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like the first time I was out of the house recording a video, I'm pretty sure. It's interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So you can never get out of, like, I think one psychosis, which isn't too bad. And then I think, I forget what the other rider was. Oh my god. Oh yeah, extra psychosis mines. Something tells me that there's one other thing, but that's all I can find on Google. So I'm just gonna assume that's what it was. I'm just gonna put it in B tier with sharp glass. I think I liked it a lot, compared to like some of the other ones, because I think the ones that we got before it was like his second chance and no meds. So yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's just do push through. What was it called? Hardcore. I forgot. Yeah, I think I know where this one's going as well. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure most of the weeklies have like, let's go like second chance, for example. I think usually there's like the main rider, second chance, no meds, sharp glass, or the bad trip thing, stuff like that. And then usually there's stronger enemies or more enemies, or like more door traps and stuff. I think there's like one or two, or I think like 1 to 3 extra riders. I am pretty sure Hardcore literally has like 3 or 4 riders, and I'm pretty sure they're basically the same as like no meds and stuff. Something tells me that like this entire thing is basically taking like the main rider away, and then just adding like it's basically like taking second chance and just taking away the second chance. I feel like that's basically what it is. There's like no new riders. I don't know. I think I might be remembering it wrong, but it really, I'm just gonna put it in F. Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone didn't like it as well. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, this is no rigs now. This one also felt disappointing for me, because obviously, I think it was Naked and Afraid. You don't have a rig either. And I'm pretty sure this rider existed before too. I'm pretty sure in the original Program X. Oh, and Omega, I just mentioned it before. But it's alright, because obviously you can't get your rig back. Like, how like second chances, yeah, there's like that 1 amp. And obviously heal rig for, no meds. There's like some way to counter a little bit at least. But kinda no rigs, like you can't get a rig anyways, so like there's nothing you can really do. It's interesting. I think I'm gonna put it in D tier, just because it feels definitely better than these. Like, putting it on the same level as these doesn't sound right, so I'm just gonna put it 1 tier above it. Okay, let's just get stick together over with. I never played Stick Together, mainly because I never did a video on it. I usually do the videos on them, but this one's basically Omega, I'm pretty sure. So I was like, I'm not doing a video on that, and I kind of skipped it because I think I was a little burnt out from playing it. So I kind of skipped this one too. I was like, it's basically Omega. Yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm not doing that. So I think I'm gonna. I still think it's fair to rank it though, because I haven't played it. I'm gonna. I don't think I can rank it. I guess I'm gonna put it with Omega because I mean, if it's basically Omega, I'm gonna put it worse than Omega though, because I'm pretty sure because like it doesn't have as many varieties as Omega. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Okay, now it's 0 upgrades. Zero upgrades is yet again like probably one of the better ones as well. I remember it being pretty decent. As the name implies, you have like 0 upgrades. So that means no rig upgrades, which is honestly pretty interesting because that means like you have like the base stun rig, which you can't do right now. Like no meds, obviously just don't pick up any meds and boom, you have the Rioter. No syringes, don't pick up any syringes, boom, you have the Rioter. No rigs, don't have any rigs and boom, you have the Rioter. And obviously this, you can't just delete the rig upgrades, which is interesting. Also, no amps, which is also pretty interesting. I mean, obviously you can unequip your amps, but there hasn't been anything that really alters your amps, so I think that's pretty interesting. And also, of course, the main thing, no prescriptions, which yet again, you cannot deactivate, so yeah, that is really interesting. When I was playing, I saw a pretty big change, especially with stamina. Yeah. Like, the stamina upgrades definitely help out. So, yeah, so that means there's 3 different varieties on this one. So, I'm pretty sure it's 3. I don't think they put it all in one. I'm pretty sure they're all, like, all 3 of them are separate. I like it. I mean, not much to say. Like, you heard what I said. It's just cool, okay? It's interesting. It's unique. I like it, okay? I definitely think it's probably... I'll put it A. I don't know if any of them are going to make it S tier, though, because I think to make a weekly S tier, it'd probably have to do, like, crazy things. You know, by crazy, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Okay, let's go on to Vaulted. Okay. You know, I said, like, no meds and second chances is probably like the worst. Apparently I forgot Vaulted existed, which is, it probably makes sense why I forgot it existed. It's one of the more recent ones actually. So I forgot what, okay, let me just tell you something. So I forgot what Thieves Loadout actually is. Okay, I'll talk about it in a second, but basically one of the main things of Thieves Loadout is most items are in locked containers. And there's also, like, you have less inventory slots, and you have 2 lockpicks. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. This one is literally the exact same, but the only thing is, most items are in locked containers. And I'm pretty sure more items are in locked containers in Thieves Loadout than this. I don't know what the point of Vaulted is. Literally, a couple weeklies after was, you know... Thieves Loadout. So what the heck? I don't understand. And I'm pretty sure it's broken. Like, I don't even know. This is just such a messy weekly, you know. Obviously F tier. Probably the worst out of F tier, but I'm gonna have to sort it. Naked and Afraid, okay. 2 more weeklies. Naked and Afraid was in the first Program X. And, yeah, it was pretty difficult. I've gotten better at the game, and obviously I don't think there's as much varieties as in the original Program X. But it's pretty interesting. So you have no rig. You also have a couple items in your inventory that you start off with, because there's no items in the trial at all, except for syringes, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's pretty interesting. So you basically have nothing, no rigs, except for the items that you start off with. So you have to have some inventory management, which is pretty cool too. Excuse me. I don't have much to say about it. I like it. It's hard. It has some pretty unique and interesting things about it. you know what? I'm just gonna put it probably up here. I mean, I think it's pretty decent. I don't have a lot of complaints about it. Straightforward and good. Thieves loadout. So even though Vaulted was bad, I think this one's decent. I was expecting it to be better, because after I found out exactly what Thieves loadout was, I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be like one of my favorite weeklies. Now, I think it's probably gonna be B tier just because it still doesn't feel the most unique, because here's the thing, I still don't use locked containers that much, and also here's the thing, I don't think bricks and bottles are in the locked containers. At least you have 2 lockpicks, and you have like 1 less inventory slot, but I don't think it's as strong as I was hoping it was going to be, you know, like, in terms of how good it was. You know, is kind of lacking a little bit, but I'm going to put it B tier. It's definitely not horrible or anything. Alright, boom, weeklies are done. What should I do next? I think, let's do Winter Kills. Yeah, Winter Kills is honestly amazing. So, this is the second and the only other event than Geister. There's 2 new varieties instead of like the 4 from last time, but don't worry, they're way more interesting and important. So, you get these winter tokens, which are way better and easier to get than Geister. Already, the winter tokens are better. I'm not basing off the cosmetics, but I think the cosmetics are a little worse here and it's a little less, but I'm not going to include that as, maybe I should though. I don't know. Okay, getting a little bit off topic. One of the varieties is like the present varieties, which, wait, for one, off topic again, but I'm technically talking about the programs themselves and not the actual event. Okay, sorry. But there's this present one. We have to collect these presents instead of posters. So basically, you have to look in a different area to, you know, find them, like on the ground, on shelves maybe, instead of looking on walls. So not that big of a difference, but you do get, you know, Winter Kills tokens instead of just, you know, experience and good grade stuff. And the second and main part, like the second Friday and the main part of this entire event, is, I forget what it's called, but it's like this like frost thingy. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's amazing. So every, like, I want to say like 3 to 5 minutes, there's like this alarm that goes off, and you have like 10 seconds to get into a hiding spot, or you start to take damage, and the entire room, like in the entire building, the entire map just starts to freeze. And if you're getting chased, well, you're dead. Yeah, it's really interesting. It changes up the game, because a lot of people don't use hiding spots at all. I do. I'm going to use it decently frequently. Not a lot of people at all, but it forces you to use them, and it forces you to try not to let enemies see you, because if they see you at the wrong time, then yeah. I definitely think, you know what? I think this event is going to be S tier. I liked it a lot. I think it's really cool. Really good. I'm hoping the new events that are coming out, I think one's called like the Toxic something. I'm hoping that one is as good as the other one. Alright, let's do region release. I even have this on here because I'm going to include it. So technically it's called Farewell Mansion 2. So this is including the tutorial. So technically it has 2 trials in it. So yeah, I should like it more. I mean, I don't think that should count like as like a second trial necessarily. So the tutorial, I mean, it's the tutorial. I mean, it's a cool tutorial. I don't know. Yeah, you know, I don't know really what to say about it. Gooseberries in it, and yeah. So, I don't know. It's a tutorial, but the main thing is region release. The region release is, I like going through it. Since 1.0, I feel like it got harder. Maybe because I suck, I don't know, but it feels like it got harder. I don't know why. Getting like the 2 boxes to their areas is probably the hardest part, mainly because of the big grunts. Because I've died in seconds because 2 big grunts bully me. Because I'm pretty sure in the 1.0 release, it feels like they can go around the map way more, because it feels like the big ones kind of stick to their halves of the upstairs area in the old version, but it feels like in 1.0 they can really like get near each other and actually cross paths, and it sticks to the middle area a lot, which can be a pain. But I also like it. It's pretty decent. Once you get downstairs, you have to go into this Night Hunter area outside to get the keys that you see in the TVs. Pretty interesting, like the key mechanics. Night Hunter can be a little bit of a pain, but it's just him there, luckily. And then, once you get out of there, put the keys in, you have to do a bunch of frequencies, which is fine. It's probably, like, this final part is probably, like, my least favorite part of this entire, like, I guess if I'm gonna call it trial, let's just say. It feels like a trial, though. Like, not necessarily new objectives, besides, like, the box picking up thing, which technically just carrying a heavy object, so it's already been done, but still. But yeah, getting the reel, putting it in it, it's fine. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain to find it. Frequencies, sometimes the enemies can be a pain, especially the enemy in the theater area. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain for me to get to the radio and do it if there's a radio in that area. And, yeah, the claw grunt can be annoying in, like, the kitchen area on the other side where you can usually find the reel. And then you escape, and then when you're escaping, you get one of the 2 prime assets, which I'm hoping Whitehorn, whenever he's going to come out in this next update, hopefully. Maybe he'll come, I don't know. But then they chase you to the exit, you get an ending. I don't know exactly, like, where to put it. I think I'm going to put it A tier. I think it's pretty decent. It feels like an entire new map in Trial, because it kind of is. I think I'm going to put it A, honestly. B, I don't know. I could put it B, but I honestly like it, and I kind of want to put it A. Like I said, I might change it in the, after. Alright, let's move on to... Let's do Toy Factory, because it's probably what you've been waiting for. Toy Factory is pretty interesting. The newest program, out of, like, the main ones at least, and the newest one, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, the trial itself. I don't think it's the most amazing trial. A lot of parts, or like just the entire trial itself, just in the map and everything, just doesn't feel as, like, in-depth and as full as some of the other ones. Specifically talking about Courthouse, because that's, like, the only other one that actually came out that wasn't in early access, like the only other program that came out in, like, a update necessarily. And I don't know, it just, like I said, doesn't feel as full. Like, the map is definitely the smallest map out of the entire game, I'm pretty sure. Which it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, let's just say. So you have to go into the basement to get this thing. To get the key, I mean. So, it's the basement area. It's pretty easy. I played it on Ultra, and it's also decently easy. It just replaces the grunt that's in the basement with a claw grunt, which I guess is fine. I like to call them the claw grunt or the armored grunt. I don't know if it's actually has a difference. I like to think that they have a difference. I call the grunts and, like, the claw grunts 2 different things, okay? Don't judge me. So you have to find these boxes, put it on the conveyor belt, and then it goes into the room, because there's, like, this gate that can block you if you have a box when you're trying to go into the room to put it into this trash compactor that crushes this guy. Yeah, maybe I should have started there. So you have to put these boxes into this trash compactor and crush this guy to get the key. I think you only need, like, 4 on multiplayer, and, like, 3 on, like, single player, or is it 2? I forget. Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, so it's pretty easy. Like, this basement area is really, really, really small. So, I mean, like, you can easily get all the boxes, like, without a problem. Just stuff them all on the conveyor belt. Go on the other side. Sometimes the grunt can be annoying and try to bother you when you're in there. But overall, just kind of straightforward. That's kind of what I mean about it. Just doesn't feel as in-depth. That's what I kind of mean about, like, this program doesn't feel as in-depth, I guess. And then once you go out, you enter the factory, which... The factory itself looks pretty cool. Like, everything has, like, this weird, like, yellow tape on it. Or, like, I don't know, like, everything's all, like, yellow and red, which is cool. Like, it's kind of like the theme. I don't know, around, like, the toy factory, whatever. So you have to make it to the production line, which in Ultra, there's, like, a claw grunt that's there. And also the big grunt's probably going to chase you because they're kind of camping the area a little bit. And then you meet the Deviant. The Deviant is, yeah, the Deviant's interesting. So yeah, the Deviant's just some naked guy that's strapped down to, like, this thing that's, like, attached to, like, this hook line. I know what you'd really call it. It's just basically I don't know what you actually call like the, you know, chain like conveyor belt that's attached to the ceiling. Whatever, he like goes across it once you click this button, and then the main part of the trial starts. And honestly, the most full part of the trial, like the most like in-depth, I guess. So basically, you have to get this wax, and the wax, you look at this number on like this TV thing next to like this like machine looking thing, and it tells you this code they have to get for the wax. There's different codes in the boxes, and you just have to make sure you get the right box, or you'll get psychosis, and sometimes it explodes and you take damage. You put it in. If you're playing multiplayer, it's like if you're playing like 3 to 4 players, I'm pretty sure you have to get like 2 waxes, and if you're playing 1 player, you have to get 1 wax. You have to put the wax in on the easiest difficulty in Genesis. Literally no one's there, so it's pretty easy. Just, you know, get it done. But on Ultra, Gooseberry bothers you. And also you have to get these keys to even activate the machines, which are in these control rooms. The first control room is really easy. It's basically a tutorial one. But whatever, you get the key, you go down, you put it in, and then once you did all that, the guy goes through, he gets waxed. He's all burning, comes out the other side, and something else. So yeah, definitely the most sick and just insane trial, honestly. Just like, it's sick, okay? That's all you need to know. So then, yeah, he goes to the second, I guess section, you would say. There's 3 of these things you have to do. Next up, you have to get these. I think it's I forget what it's called. There's like this next item here that you have to get that isn't wax. It's basically the same mechanic. You go, you get the item that's in the box. You have to make sure the code's right on it. You need 2 of these again if you play multiplayer, 1 for single player, or I mean 1 for like 1 to 2 players, 2 for 3 to 4 players. You have to put it on the conveyor belt. I forgot to mention that. There's these conveyor belts you have to put them on because the gates are here again. And yeah, it goes all around. The conveyor belts are pretty slow, honestly, but I understand why they did that, because if you're stealthing or enemies bothering you, they want to make sure you have enough time to get it before it goes all the way around. But yeah, sometimes it can be annoying, especially in the second section where you have to wait by that thing just to even get through it. And then there's like the control room keys, which I like. So basically, once you get to the second control room, there's gonna be like this little note that says where the key is, because it's not in the control rooms anymore. It says like, oh, it's in the call center, or the archives, or the showers. I like that mechanic. I think it's really cool because it can just spawn all around the map upstairs. And I like the upstairs area. It's pretty cool. And there's these jump acrossies, I like to call them. It's basically like where you have to like help your teammate go up these ledges that are in the other trials, where one teammate holds up their hands and then they yeet their teammates up the ledge or like the wall or whatever. And then obviously the other teammates can pull the other teammates up from the wall. But now there's like these big gaps, and you can hold your arm out, and then the teammate runs, jumps, and you fling them across. Or you run, jump, and grab the other teammate's hand if you're on the other side. Which I like. I mean, it's not really that big of a difference between the wall mechanic and that. It's just kind of like if you don't want to have a wall that goes up and you just want to have something that goes across. So yeah, not that big of a difference in terms of the wall and the jump acrossy, but I still like it. I think it's cool. I like the entire upstairs area, probably like my favorite part. Night Hunter's up there, and Grunt is up there in the beginning area of the upstairs area. And the Claw Grunt, I think, is somewhere over there. And there's these alarm doors. If you go through them, there's a Grunt that just goes through an elevator and tries to attack you. So basically, an enemy automatically comes out near you and tries to attack you if you go through the doors. They're pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 doors that have alarms on it. So yeah, there can be like 5 Claw Grunts coming after you, because I'm pretty sure they can all be Claw Grunts. I'm pretty sure they have to be. So yeah, I like getting the keys because it's pretty cool and interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, once you get all the stuff you have to get, he goes on to the third section. And yeah, once he comes out of that machine, you also don't want to know. Then the third area is probably the hardest. You only have to get 1 of these, of the next boxes. You need lubricant for this next thing, but you only need 1 of them because you have to have another conveyor belt to get it to the third section. A lot of conveyor belts you have to use to get there. Because like this third conveyor belt, once you put it on, you have to run all the way to the warehouse, go up the stairs, and make sure you get there in time to get it, or it's going to go all the way back down. And then once you get the box, you have to go back downstairs, open up this little like door thingy that you like, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of like this gate thing that you pull up. and then you go through with the box, and you can put it on. It's pretty hard, and then there's the third control room, which is basically the same as the second control room, just obviously spawns a different area. Like the control room B can, you know, it says like, oh, key in showers, and then the control room C could say key in surveillance room, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I like that. And then once he goes through, also want to know what happens. And then there's this cranking part. We have to reroute the line or whatever. This part just feels kind of filler to me, honestly. But on the Ultra, it definitely feels better because they add a big run in and makes it, you know, more interesting. Because sometimes Gooseberry isn't even bothering you in this area. It just kind of feels like you're just sitting there for 30 seconds, just cranking it for no apparent reason. But yeah, big run's there in the Ultra, so definitely makes it more interesting at least. So yeah, pretty decent. And then he goes down, he goes through all the way to the burner area, and then you have to turn this valve by following the pipes like from Fun Park. This part is interesting, definitely on Ultra it is interesting. On Genesis it's because there's like only one enemy there, but there's a big grunt in Ultra, definitely makes it more interesting. And it slowly goes down once you pull a valve, so if you're trying to pump the flames, and it can go out if you take too long, which it really kind of never happened because it goes down way too slow, and you know, I barely ever get bothered when I'm pumping. So once you do the valve and stuff, you have to pump like this, like, I guess it looks like a balloon pump from like Mario Party, you know, like when Mario Party when you're pumping the balloons to try to get it as, you know, big as you can get it. Whenever you're like doing like the pumpy thing, he gets burned every time. He gets like torched and torched and torched. But if that thing goes out, you have to go back and return it, which never happened. So then once you're done burning him, he gets burned alive, and then you escape. The end chase is alright. So yeah, that was a lot. And then the MK challenges. I'm just going to go through this really quick. Crush the toys, I like. A lot of objectives and mechanics in this one. There's a generator you have to power, which is interesting because it activates the lights from Courthouse that shows you where the codes are, which is interesting because it shows the codes in the boxes. It's really cool, really unique. And then you have to put the boxes into the crusher, which crushes these toys. And you also have to use conveyor belts to, you know, bring it into that room. It's really hard on Ultra, but honestly, it's probably my top 5, even maybe my top 3 favorite MK challenges. I really like this one. I don't know why I like this MK challenge area and setup, because mainly the MK challenges are in this one area, which I like this area a lot. It's just, I think the MK challenges really hold up the program, or map, whatever you want to call it. And then the Incinerate one, I don't really have a problem with. I think it's probably on the upper half of the MK challenges. It just feels a little bit too easy and fast. You have to push this car all the way to the, you know, furnace, and you have to get keys to open these gates. It does feel fast, but I don't really have a problem with it. Probably in the upper half too. It's pretty cool. So how do I feel about it? I don't know. Hard to say. I think I'm gonna put it in S tier. Okay? It is gonna go in S tier. Where's it gonna go exactly? I don't fully know. Because A tier, the MK challenges are just really good. Probably has one of the best lineup of MK challenges. Because like Fun Park is really lacking. Orphanage has two that are kind of lacking. But this one actually has 2. One's like really good and stuff. So yeah, I think it has to go S tier, and plus the trial itself is really cool too. All right, let's move on to, let's do Program X. After Ultra came out, it definitely feels a little bit too easy, but obviously because this was like the hardest thing that we had for a while, just because like that wasn't an event. Now that Ultra's here, it definitely kind of falls down a little bit in terms of how much I like it. I think the first Program X was the best. Because here's the thing, Program X 1 had like the Thieves loadout, and it also had, you know, Naked and Afraid. But then the Courthouse Program X and this current Program X both just kind of have really basic riders. And I mean, it's interesting if you just want to play the game. Some like trials and MK challenges that you like, but also want a little bit of a challenge, but not as easy as Genesis. And now that Program Ultra is here, not as hard as Ultra. I think I'm gonna put it in like, I'll put it A tier. Okay, B tier feels a little bit too harsh, but not S tier. Maybe before, but not now. Okay, police station. Let's do this. The classic, the absolute classic. So here's the thing: if this is like program like 2 or 3 or something, let's say like 3 or 4, this would probably be like the least unique and the least, like the most basic out of every single thing. But this is the first one. This is the classic. This is like the definitive Outlast Trials like trial. Like the first one you should play is this. It's just like basic, but just like, I don't know. I like it a lot. So you have to infiltrate the police station, which is probably the most interesting and unique way, like the most interesting like infiltrating the building type thing, except for like Pervert the Futterman, because you actually have to get a key to do that. But like getting into the building for like in terms of like courthouse and stuff, it's probably the best. Because then you have to get to like the security room, and you see like the coil cutscene, which is cool. And then the first main area is like the generators and like getting the gas in the parking garage. It's pretty cool. It's just a classic area. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I did that. You get the gas, fill up the generator, do the things on the sides, then crank the generator. Like this entire trial has like the most common objectives in the entire thing. And obviously Berserker's down there, Coil's down there. It's just cool. I like it. And once you get up, you have to push the snitch and stuff, just like pushing the car in Fun Park. You have to get a key, and then you have to keep pushing them, and also get these keys that you look in the TVs to see what you need to get. Just a classic thing. It's just good. Don't really know what else to say. You have to get the keys. You put it into the thing. You push the snitch all the way to you have to where you have to electrocute them. Honestly, my favorite death area in the entire game. Maybe not in terms of the death, because obviously there's cooler ones, like I think the judge is cooler and stuff, but in terms of actually playing it, like not like the visuals, like how he's getting killed, it sounds sick, but like how he's getting killed, it's not my favorite. But in terms of like the enemies and the layout, I think it's the best. It's so intense. There's usually the big grunt there, and there's also Coil, and it feels like you never have time to even do it. But like the judge, it kind of feels easy sometimes because it's just Coil, and if there's a teammate distracting. But like if there's 2 enemies, it's way less manageable. And then like obviously you don't have to explain cutting off the guy's legs. I already said this. For Fun Park, it's alright. I definitely think it's another one of the not greatest. Same for Pervert the Futterman, but this one does it really good. I just like it every single time I play it. I always get stressed out going into it. I'm like, are we ready to do this? Because this is usually the place that we die. This is usually the place that you need to be ready for. I just like it. I'm really hoping they start having more epic end things and more intense and more hard end things, because this is like the definitive and like my favorite end thing out of all of them. And then you escape. The MK challenges, you have Cancel the Autopsy, which is probably one of my top 5. It's just basic, easy, just nice, you have to get the keys from the bodies that you look in the TVs. Basically, just like when you're pushing the snitch in the basement area, you have to find it, and then you escape. It's just good. And then there's Sabotage the Lockdown, which I used to kind of like. So basically you have to take the gas, and there's this linear route that you have to take all the way to the end of the map. And then you fill up the generator, do this generator real quick, and then you escape. Kind of well, not easy, I'm not going to say, but kind of basic. And Coil kind of camps that area. That's my main problem. The generator area is honestly the reason why this is not my favorite trial. I mean, this is not my favorite MK challenge. Just because, like, he always camps that area, and it's such a pain to do the generator, because there's also a grunt always nearby, I'm pretty sure, too. It can be a pain sometimes. Sometimes it could be easy to get through. This one's very hit or miss. On harder difficulties, I think it's where it's the worst. I don't know. It's alright, I guess. I know how to feel about it fully. And then there's Release of Prisoners, probably my least favorite MK challenge. It's just a big maze, and if you're playing with other teammates, which I think is where it's worst, honestly. Because if you're playing single player, I think there's just one key in your area, you get it, you get out, and you just have to go through. But with all 4 teammates, if someone can't find it, and it's just chaotic. Because it's just such a maze, so hard to navigate, and the keys can be a pain to find. Don't even get me started with Ultra, because there's no intel to tell you where it is at all. And then Coil, Absolutely, because like sometimes I go to put my keys in, and then I want to wait there for a teammate to come. Coil is an absolute pain, especially if you leave your area, you put your key in or something, or you just want to go into a different area, you're like one of the other gates, because there's like these gates you have to hold down, and like hold the thing down, and then you go through to get to the other side, and into like the other sections, and the only way to get there if you don't have like the breakaway doors to go through, is through there, and Coil just camps and, ugh, worst. So where am I gonna put it? I think I'm gonna put it A tier. S tier, here's the thing, Sabotage the Lockdown and Release the Prisoners, like Release the Prisoners like the bottom. Sabotage the Lockdown's probably pretty close to the lower half, not gonna lie. Trial, I think, is in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna rank all the trials real quick. My favorite is Vindicate the Guilty. Second favorite is, I think I'm gonna say Grind the Bad Apples, and then it's Pervert the Fireman, then Police Station, then, you know, Cleanse the Orphans. So, also not the highest in terms of trial ranking, so I'm gonna put it A. I don't think it's down with Orphanage, but definitely A, I think. Courthouse. My absolute favorite, okay? So for trial, I'm gonna try to go through this quickly because it's just amazing, okay? Courthouse. Here's one complaint I have with it, okay? I'm sad to say this, but there's too much tutorial things. You always have to listen to those cutscenes, which can take a while. Wish you could just skip them, because, you know, like, obviously, first time, I like the cutscenes. I'm kind of sad that Pervert the Fireman, like, had no cutscenes, but I wish you could skip the ones that are in Vindicate the Guilty. And then you have to, like, do, like, the head tutorial, like, what do you call it, the evidence tutorial, and you have to do the acid tutorial, too, every single time. Doesn't take that long, but, I mean, it's tedious. So the evidence, it can be a real pain. Honestly, probably the hardest trial, by the way. I think it's the hardest trial. Pervert the Fireman, I think it might be second hardest, but I think this is the hardest trial. Getting the evidence can be such a pain. And even the evidence minigame can be, like, really, really hard, too. Because I still haven't gotten, like, fully used to it yet. Because, like, when I'm trying to do, like, the evidence, like, code and stuff, it's just, like, all the time, like, a pain. Because, like, I'm always, like, looking around and stuff. Like, this objective, like, never gets easy for me. Because, like, a lot of the objectives, it's like, okay, you speed through it. This one I can't. Like, it's really hard for me. The acid's interesting. If you run or jump or, like, do anything that's, like, you know, like that, you take damage from the acid. You have to carefully bring it down. It's pretty cool. I like the upstairs area and, like, the painting area, or whatever you want to call it. There's, like, it's not like a painting area. It's like a work in progress type area, I guess. But I like it. It's cool. And then once you do all that, the fountain peas. That's funny. Yeah. And then you listen to more like the cutscenes, and then you have to kill the witnesses. Yet again, another tutorial. Biggest complaint about Vindicate the Guilty. So then, yeah, I think they really need to do something about the tutorials. Like, Pervert the Fireman doesn't have this problem. But I like the cutscenes as well. Like, I think maybe people complain about the cutscenes in Vindicate the Guilty. Maybe that's why they didn't put any cutscenes in Pervert the Fireman. But, I don't know. And then you have to kill the witnesses, which is also probably a really cool mechanic too, man. Because, like, every objective in this entire trial is just so in-depth and cool. Because you have to kill 2 witnesses, 1 on each floor. You have this tracker to track them down. And once you get near them, you have to, like, hold this thing down and then, like, it explodes one of the 3 things on their heads. And then they run at you, attack you. You can, like, stun them or something to try to get another, you know, what would you call it? Like, hit on them, I guess. You have to get him, like, and then if you, like, stun him or hit him with a brick, try to get another hit on him. But yeah, he's pretty fast and he does quite a bit of damage. So yeah, don't mess around with him. So then he runs into the elevator if he ends up escaping you. We have to do that basically 6 times because there's 1 in the basement. I mean, 1 in, like, the downstairs area where they have to do 3 times, and then 1 in the upstairs area you have to do 3 times. So it's around like 6, I would say. And then you have to kill the judge. So only, like, 2 objective areas technically that isn't, like, the kill the person objective, but it's just really in depth. And obviously the acid is mixed in with the, you know, evidence. And then, so you have to, like, do this weird thing where you go down and you have to do, like, this objective, like the flipping the switch thing on the generator. I don't know what's up with that. It just kind of feels like you have to do that just so Coil has time to get out of the elevator. It's like, you know, they don't want the players to just automatically start like cranking and stuff. So like, okay, quickly go do that so Coil has time to get out here. You don't want to, you know, end up doing it and then Coil doesn't even get one hit on you. So I don't know, it kind of feels like that. But then cranking it isn't the greatest. Like I said, it's kind of, and Coil can be annoying, but it's also not that intense. Like it can be intense, but since there's only like one enemy, it's all right. Obviously, the kill is probably like my favorite kill. Like the legs are hit with the hammer, then the arms, and then the head. Then they get choked, and then the head explodes. It's crazy. Obviously, it's my favorite. And then the end chase is all right. And then we have the MK challenges. Escape the courthouse, probably top 8. I don't know about top 5, maybe. It's decent. Destroy the evidence, I used to hate. Now I think it's towards the middle, not towards the bottom like I thought before, because like the gates are so annoying and destroy the evidence. Like there's just gates at like every single area that you look. Like you look around, there's like 8 gates around you, and the random ones open like when like there's like this alarm, and then some close, some open, and it's just like a big maze. And you have to take the acid, so also you can't run. So yeah, that's also amazing. But I like it. I think it's pretty decent though. Courthouse, I mean, is it even a question? Obviously I put it in S tier. I'm crazy. Okay, on to Ultra. Took a big break, but I'm back. Couldn't speak. So here's what we're probably gonna do. I'm probably not gonna be able to do all the characters and stuff in this video too, so I have to split into 2 sections like what I did with the Mimic. So yeah, this is gonna be the last one, then I'll sort everything out. So I just recently played through Ultra. You might be seeing this before I even have my Ultra video out when I like fully beat it, but currently, yeah, I did beat Ultra. I thought it was pretty cool because we kind of needed a bigger challenge. Like this is probably the biggest challenge I've gotten from the Outlast Trials, at least after Omega. I still think Omega's probably harder, but currently it's like the hardest thing in the game. I like the enemies are super fast, and it's only one variety, so it's just everything's all combined into it. It's really hard, really difficult, a lot of damage, and there's like, I don't know, it's just very intense. And because I crushed the toys on that difficulty is insane. And Pervert the Futterman, it was actually decently difficult too, because that's like the only other difficulty you can do Pervert the Futterman on, which is interesting. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's good for what it is. I do think they need to make it more hard in the future, like maybe like just add like another variety or something, or make something even harder than that. So I think there needs to be a challenge that's like, you know, very, very hard, like even the best players will struggle to beat it, because I struggle to beat some things, but I suck at the game, and I saw a couple people saying it wasn't that hard, so it would be cool to see how far they can go with difficulty. So yeah, honestly, I'm gonna put it S tier, because but here's the thing, right now that it doesn't have that much trials. But right now, I think I'm on the difficulty where I kind of want to have something that I could actually die on, because I doubt I'll die on any level in Program X. No offense, I'm just saying. You know, if I'm actually trying a decent amount. So, I think it is better than Program X. I just think they need to add a couple more to it, because right now it seems like Program X is still the focus. I think they need to focus on this more, and, you know, add more to that instead of Program X. Because like right now Program X has like 3 trials, like 9 MK challenges. This one has like 4 and 2, like 4 MK challenges and like 2 trials. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go S tier. Okay, let's sort everything out. Do I think Vault should stay at the bottom? I mean, at least no meds. There won't be any meds. At least, you know, no second chances, there's no syringes. This, I'm tempted to put out the worst, but I think it still was decently harder than the other ones. And then Vaulted, I think I'm just gonna excuse you, it keeps sticking at the bottom because it's really a worse Thieves loadout, and I barely saw a difference in gameplay. I do think this is second worst because I barely see a difference in this one too. I just think this one's slightly harder because I remember I did struggle like slightly, I believe. And I like no syringes better because, like I said, there's not that big of a counter for no syringes like no meds. I think this is perfect in terms of, you know, F tier. D tier, I mean, nothing really to sort. So wait, so should I? I'm gonna see if I want to like put anything up or down. I don't want to put no second chances in D. Do I? No, I'll keep it in. I'll put it D. Bottom of D, just because there isn't really a counter for it. Okay, and because like the thing about nomads, like just use a heal rig, but these two are kind of similar in terms of like, yeah, you can just snarfy rigs, yeah, just don't use syringes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like that, maybe. Yeah, why not? Geister, I don't think it deserves to. Wait, so for no rigs, I don't think it needs to go up. I think that's fine down there. Program Geister. I don't think I should lower it. I think that seems too harsh. I don't think I should higher it either because the writers just aren't the best, if I'm being honest. Like the event itself is cool, like with all the cosmetics. I think C tier. I think it's in the middle. I definitely think putting it in B is too high, D is too low. I think in the middle is good for it. Okay, for B. I think Thieves the loadout is the worst out of... No, I think Bad Trip's the worst, and, honestly, I didn't see that big of a difference in Thieves loadout. Because I wanted to like it. Yeah, I think Sharp Glass did change it up more than Thieves loadout. I think Bad Trip can stay in... I think it can stay in B tier. I think it can. So yeah, Thieves loadout, I think it's better, but yeah, Sharp Glass I also think is better than Thieves loadout. I do think it changes up a little bit more, and yeah, Orphanage definitely beats all of those. Should Orphanage go up to A? Here's the thing: if you take away Feed the Children, yeah, Feed the Children's like the only thing. No. I think it's gonna stay in B. Because, like, do I think it's as good as, like, Police Station? I don't think it's as good as Police Station. Because here's the thing, like, this is, like, the only one I kind of, like, for some reason, just dislike the most. Like, I don't know, but, like, Police Station, like, the only reason I'm putting it low is just because it's basic. But this one I actually have quite a bit of problems with it. I definitely don't think it should go lower, and I think it should stay here. Okay, in A tier. What do I want to stick at the bottom? Stick to 6, no, it needs to go with Program, oh yeah, Program Omega. So where'd Program Omega go? I don't know. So I think I'm gonna put Program 1. Okay, let's just start from the bottom. Is Program 1 better than Geist? I mean, X? Yes. Is it better than, yeah. 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 I'll keep it here. Maybe. I think Zero Upgrades is better. I think Regent Release is, like, it's hard to rank them with, like, these, you know what I mean? I should have done that. Be Quiet, I don't think it's as good as those ones, honestly. Do I think Omega's top? Be Quiet, is it the worst out of A tier? It's not goes Naked and Afraid, it's just too easy. Zero Upgrades is, yeah, I think, yeah. Naked and Afraid's definitely better. Zero Upgrades I do think is better. Regent Release, I think it is better than all of those though. Or like the entire Farewell Mansion. Because I think it is cool though. So I don't think it's better than Program 1 now. Is Omega really better than Program 1? No, I'll move Program Omega in between this, just because Program Omega was just cool, but it's Program 1, I can't, yeah. But, I don't think it's I think Region Release can go there. Program X? I think it moved down. I don't think it's as good anymore. And should it go under? No, I'll keep it here. I don't think Program 1 should move up. I think it's just a little too basic to move up. Too basic. I think Be Quiet can stay up here. Right? Can it? Can it stay up here? I'm considering it. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Like I said, my opinion could change in the future if I do another one of these. Ultra. Okay, hold on. What do I think is the worst out of these? I don't know. Okay, so, okay. Yeah, I don't know where to put anything. So, Ultra. Do I think it's better than Program 4 now? Program 4. Put Program 4 at the top for now. Do I think Winter Kills or Ultra is better? I think Ultra is better. Let's go like that. Fun Park, the MK Challenge. I might have to put it there. This is a pain. Because here's the thing. I like Root Canal, but I think it is the worst out of these three. Like the MK Challenge, just to bring it down. I do think Winter Kills is better than Fun Park. The rider is good. I really like it. Ultra, I think, is better. It's more difficult and more interesting, I think. I mean, I don't know about interesting. This is pretty interesting. Is Fun Park better than the MK Challenges? Okay. Toy Factor. I think that these... I don't know. Here's the thing. Think about it like this. I like the Trial and Vindicate the Guilty better. I do. But I like Destroy... I mean, not Destroy the Evidence. I like Crush the Toys better than Escape the Courthouse. And then I would put the Incinerate one. And then I would put that. I think I might put it like this. Does this look right? Honestly, just this top one. Program 2, I think, is the worst on here, just because it's just the MK Challenges. MK Challenges. I think I'm gonna have to put Winter Kills better than it. I think Toy Factory is gonna go there, at least for now. Here's the thing, I haven't played Toy Factory as much as any of the other ones. Like I said, I might do more of these in the future, like maybe next year or something, I might do another tier list. But for now, I think, because here's the thing, I definitely like the MK Challenges on Toy Factory better. But, yeah, and I think I like Ultra better, just because, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it like this for now. Here's the thing, if I play Toy Factory more and I like it more, I might change it in the future. But, for now, I think I'm going to leave it as it is. Yeah, here's the opinion. My opinion is probably going to vary quite a lot. Like, a lot in the future. So, yeah, this is going to be filled next time. I bet it's going to be going like this. Because there's going to be way more weeklies, probably way more events. Probably maybe like 4 or 5 more programs or maps, whatever you want to call it, until the next video on this. I think, honestly, I think everything's good. The only thing I'm really stumped on is these 3 at the top. Because the MK Challenges I just really like on Toy Factory. But I think I'm going to put Ultra better than it, because I really like Crush the Toys and Ultra, even though it's such a pain. And Ultra's just really fun to do, honestly. So I think I'm going to put it like that. But the thing about Courthouse is I don't think it has the best MK challenges. And the tutorials really... Like, I just played it recently, and the tutorials and, like, the unskippable cutscenes really drags it down. It really does. Like, best objectives. Because I think if they somehow let you skip the tutorials in the cutscenes, I probably wouldn't question it being first. And I think I'm going to keep it like this for now. Because when I first played Toy Factory, I didn't think it was going to be this close. I think I'm going to keep Toy Factory not as good as Courthouse currently. I'm interested to see how my opinion's going to change. I mean, honestly, if, you know, in the next couple of days, I actually might change my opinion to say Toy Factory might be better, honestly. But as of right now, I might just keep Courthouse like this. And, yeah. Like I said, next time I do another tier list, I don't think... It might not end up like this again. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like I said. Keep an eye out for next video. Or I don't know when I'm going to be uploading this. Like I hopefully expect the character video. And I might do the game video in the same video. Yeah, 100% probably. In the same video. But yeah, I'm kind of sad I have to, you know, chop it in half. But I think this video's going to be like 2 hours long if I do that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. This is actually pretty hard to make. Just these top 3. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the, you know, next time. Maybe when I rank the, you know, next enemies. But yeah, see you guys next time. Bye!